Oh my gosh, guys, I jumped so fast. I haven't even put away these dies. I'll put those away in just a second. Just looking around to see like what I should work on today, you know. Got on my HSN and was like, what was I delivered recently? You know, the items that I ordered. And I was like, what? I was able to see that this was delivered. This is weird packaging. Hold on. It's the Diamond Press auto ship for the Marquise. So I am super excited. Oh my gosh, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna have to make sure my address wasn't showing there. Yeah, it was a weird slips. These were in there. I don't know. I'll put that to the side for now. It is, yeah, for the Marquise auto ship. So this is the first iteration. I'm super excited to get this. So the box, it's called Occasions Birthday Celebration. I will say, and I know even if I say this, people will still ask, how do you get this? If you bought the Marquise with the auto ship, you would have been slated to receive this. So, you know, obviously receive it. You're buying it, right? But if you did not get on the auto ship, you're not going to be on it. And if they have any extras, maybe they'll come to HSN or, you know, Diamond Press's new site. I will say a friend here said my discount code is not working on Diamond Press's site. They have a new website, and either they haven't set that up or maybe it doesn't work. I don't know, but I need to email them about that because you gotta get that squared away, right? So I will get that information for you guys before it looks like it's not working. Or if it's even gonna be the same, right? The VCDP 10, before that was VCDP. Super excited to have this, guys. Oh my gosh. So let's check it out. Again, it is not currently available for you just to go and grab it, okay? But if you did sign up for the auto ship, oopsie. And you should be receiving this very soon. And like I mentioned in another video, I also have the Crafter's Companion Craftaganza auto ship, and that says extended delivery, so hopefully that comes in soon. Again, I know they had some issues, and that's why they weren't featured on this last craft day, but getting their stuff in. But I don't know if that's where that stuff is or what happened there. So anyhow, you have 2 sheets of stamps and then all these dies, right? So you have what looks like little cupcake layers, all this cuteness, little, you know, something for the top there, a little more accent, I guess, for that frosting. Sending sprinkles of joy. You make life sweet. Happy birthday. Little sprinkles. The cute little, you know, just extra stuff. This calls for a cupcake, more sprinkles, and of course you can do all of 3 of these in different colors, and that way you have more sprinkles, right? So that's nice. A little strawberry there. More toppings. And, whoop, I have this backwards, I think, yeah. With the cherry on top, to and from, so you're sweet. HBD, you can put a little something on this little banner, I suppose. Sprinkle with birthday wishes, and then you have like that little, what do they call it, a cloche? Anyway, something like that. Anyway, the thing that you put on top of a cake or a cupcake. And it looks like this might be the platter part of it. I don't know. We'll see on the instruction. And then you have these 2 large sets of dies. This looks like the cupcake wrapper, of course, with everything that's going on here. And I'm assuming this tucks into that, unless it's 2 different things, but we'll see. And then you're going to bring all this in to make that cupcake top, and then we have dies for all these different things, different cupcakes, the wrappers, the extras, those are the little bits, all kinds of cool things on here. Tag, which is cute. So let's see, and then of course it comes with the oversized larger folder, and then the little labels, so you can put that away. But let's open these guys up. So this is 7 to 8. I can see this one says 13. And so that one goes after this one, and this is first. So let's see. And I'm sorry that the lighting gets kind of funny because this paper is very light. I don't know. I don't even think that helped. Okay. So we're going to cut this guy out. You're going to do your accents if you want, right? Maybe you're using pattern paper so you don't have to do all that, but you can still do it, I suppose. And then you're going to glue that into the shape. So that's pretty easy. 1 through 3. 5 is to cut that guy out. They're showing, that's what it is. So this piece, I said cupcake wrap, well, I did say that wrapper, but it's for this part. And so it looks like the color of the cake that you want. So maybe chocolate or pink or, you know, brown, pink, whatever colors for cake you might want. Or like this one's kind of like a vanilla, like it's been baked kind of look on the white paper. And then again, the sprinkles. So just tons of sprinkles. And then you're going to have these 2 little bits that you're going to pop onto these guys that look a little bit different on those dies. And then crease the cupcake, of course. You're gonna bring it in and shape it. And then finish that off. And this is probably the trickiest part, I'm sure. So you're gonna push these things in a way that kind of locks in, but that doesn't look very tricky actually at all. So once you have these things pushed in. I had something similar from Diamond Press, but I'm looking at it right now because I kept it. It's so cute, the little cherry on top. And it's a cupcake, but you had to like twirl it the right way for it to work. And so anyway, this one's a little bit different than that. This looks more like, I'm also looking at that little gift box from Crafts Companion a long time ago. And it was kind of rounded on the top. That's what it reminds me of, the way it kind of cuts in here. Anyway, so it looks something like this. And I love that they actually have an image. That's not computer generated, at least I don't think it is, because it doesn't look like it. It looks like that's legitimately what it's going to look like. So there you go. And then, you know, you want to put a tag on it or whatever. Or you're using the other items, again, with a little cupcake cover and all that, to make a card, right? And this is just showing you some of the different things. You can use that same accent to make like little cupcakes. Doesn't have to be a dimensional gift box type thing. Very cute. Of course, we're going to make the gift box. I'm sure you guys wanted to see that. And to make it a little bit quicker, I'll probably go ahead and grab pattern paper for the base. I'm super excited. Like, I'm telling you, I just grabbed it and came inside because I did hear the doorbell ring a little bit ago, and it was literally like 10 minutes ago, so it showed me it was delivered at 1:13 and it's like 1:24. I was like, ooh. So anyway, pattern paper on this. Okay, for this one, and I suppose we will do sprinkles. So pattern paper for this one, white paper for this one. I will give you a measurement. Of course, if you bought the marquee, then that means this is going to go through your marquee, and it's not the biggest deal. Again, it's not available quite yet for you just to grab it. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but I'll still give you a measurement, I suppose. And I'm just going to do it on my mat here. From the very largest side, it's just shy of 11.5 inches. And then this width is we really want to pay attention to. It's about 6.5, like with this being here and this, you know. Okay, white paper, pattern paper. I will be right back. I want to show you on an A2 piece of paper, you kind of have to have it like this, because if you have it like that, it's just, I mean, it just makes it, I guess. You know, I don't want to miss any of these pieces or for it to shift at all. So I'm going to bring it in like this and then trim it down. But there you go. Okay, I know the Marquise is not available to purchase either. Somebody had asked me that recently. They are not in stock on HSN. And generally, Diamond Press only sells their machines on HSN. I think they might have had some overstock of like one of their little machines many years ago. But that's not typical. But I did want to show you how nicely that worked. And I'm going to be a little bit lazy about this. Because what I'm going to say is, it looks like, let me see if we can see it on this example again. When you tuck that down in there, I don't know that you even see that much of it. And if you glue it together, I mean, that's up to you. You don't have to glue it together, I guess. But, I mean, you're barely seeing the smallest amount of that. So if you don't want to do that, I wouldn't include it. But that's up to you. Or take a marker and just color it instead of cutting all the pieces, right, to make that happen. Something to think about. I think today I will just leave it off. Maybe we'll do a little markering, see what that looks like. But I mean, it's just an extra bit. I feel like you're gonna glue it together, right? Maybe not. I just don't see why we would remove it. So let's get a little closer. And so this guy, again, if you wanted to, obviously you would go ahead and do all of the stamping. So cute, you guys. And then this is dotted paper. It definitely has a pattern to it, obviously, but I think it's okay. Yeah, okay. Because these aren't really like, when I was looking at it, I thought, oh, is it going to start moving like this? But no, it just comes in here and here and here, here and here. Okay. You know, the sun came up today, so I'm just like in a more chipper mood. Let's see here. Okay. This has been giving me problems recently, so what I have to do is open this up, yeah. And I have to really clean this out because obviously there's some kind of gum, like something gummed up in there that is just being problematic. So I put that away. The only problem is the only other one I have of my favorite glue here is this guy. And I'm sorry, I know it looks disgusting because it's just like bitten worn and pushed in, but that's what it looks like, guys. This little fine one, so it's just harder for me to squeeze it and have to be real patient with the amount of glue that it puts out, right? Because it's meant for detail areas. So I'm just gonna glue this down. That hold on. This one too. So I'm just gonna go around the whole thing. This is very cute, and I'll give you a measurement of how big that is. Is yours delivered yet, guys? So anyway, I'm gonna put some glue here, glue here, glue here, and just push those down, and I'll come back to this one. So I'm bringing this last one in. I'm also going to put glue here. I probably could have scored that a little nicer. It's kind of round looking, but just bring that in. Oh, and it's like perfectly matched. Even the way the little scallop goes up and down right there is matched perfect. And I'm holding on to this side piece right now. And then here we go. That is a big 3D object. What are you gonna say? Let's put this up before this one starts acting funny on me too. Okay, we're not gonna use that for a moment. So this guy at the very base, you know, is like just under 2.5 inches. You know, it's gonna be a little bit different in this direction, 2 3/4, and the depth is about 1.5. Okay, so this guy, we're supposed to do our sprinkles, and I'm supposed to get those little red bits too, but let me put something down. I don't think it's gonna go, well, it looks like they were shaped specifically for this, but I don't know. Okay, I was gonna get Christmas paper, but then I thought, well, I'll just do an everyday one, but that'd be very cute in Christmas paper. These are the guys, like for this, it's this one. Okay, this is more for the, like if you were just making your own for a card, but it's this guy that goes on here. Okay, so we have our sprinkles, and I'm, you know, gonna just grab whatever color. You know, if you want your frosting to be pink or some other color, of course you can do that. So we have these guys, and I'm not gonna waste all your time just watching this, but let's start with this one. I wanna see kind of where we're supposed to be at. Let me get a little bit closer. I'm sorry, I hope this is brighter when I go to edit this. It looks really dark right now. I suppose you're just gonna stamp those wherever you want. Let me see what they're showing. Oh, okay, hold on. Did I get the wrong ones? Are there other ones? You see how they're showing it like stamp each sprinkle die using a different color ink, and they're showing it kind of in, I know it's this one's, okay, there's also a fourth one, okay guys, so you want to really fill them in, so let me open this up. Here, it looked like the shape of it was specific, you know what I'm saying, like when you put it on, you're like, oh, okay, I know exactly where this goes. I don't see that so much. So they're saying red, then the yellow, then the blue, and then this one. So I started with the green one, but if I don't think it's really in order. I doubt that matters, but let's see. So I'm gonna use a red one, and I'm gonna make it look just like their little picture, which is like this. I don't think it has to be that specific, to be honest. And I think it doesn't matter because as you place it, it's just gonna go everywhere. But you know, maybe you want to miss that area, right? Maybe you want to keep it up here. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe I should grab like some of these that are already mixed, like this one. But it has a lot of blues, so I'm gonna still have to bring something else in, and I'll do this pink. Okay. Again, I don't know. Something like that. So I'm gonna keep it up towards the top to avoid this bottom piece, and just kind of in the center of that section, right? I mean, cool. It fits there perfectly, but again, I am paying attention to kind of, I mean, it is right on that line. Look at it every time. Of course, I'm gonna say that, and I'm probably gonna get one where it doesn't quite hit there. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So that one got a little lower. Again, I don't really want to waste your guys' time with this repetitive action here. Maybe I'll put some music over this next bit here, but let me grab like the one that's yellow. I'm not going to use yellow, but again, if they have to fit a certain way, I'm making this look like the picture, right? Just that way I know that they're not going to hit each other. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little more like this. And let's do this teal color. Okay, so you'll see every time I switch it out, I'm going to pay attention to kind of where they're hitting, I suppose. I don't know. Hold on. Let me look at this yellow. It's up in this corner. Like higher than the pink. It's more like over here. Guys, this one is a little bit, I don't know. Well, if those three go along like that. I don't think it's difficult, but again, like I said, I don't want to hit things. Or maybe it doesn't matter. It looks like none of them are overlapping though. And it looks like this one's supposed to be more over this way. Does that make sense? That doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay, I'm going to go for right there. So above that pink one and more to this side over here. Okay? All right. You know, I'll just come back and tell you what I'm going to do with each one so you have a good idea. Okay, I just finished that. It would have been better if they had made the stamps the way they showed here. See how it has like an outline? So if it was a piece like that, you would just stamp it, boop, because you know exactly that's the shape, right? Does that make sense? So what I'm doing is I did the red, I did yellow, but I did teal. Actually, the next one is teal, which is funny. So the next one I'm going to use is the teal one, and I'm setting them out in a way that looks like what they're doing here. I was going to use blue. I don't mind using blue, so I'm just going to do that. And then the purple. So I'm going to grab the one that's depicted in teal, and I'm going to put it on my little thing, just the way this looks, right? This up 1, 2, 3, see that? And then this little triangle, right? Okay. And then I also look at the reference that they have here, kind of like where it actually goes. Like see how the teal, I'm using blue, but it's here and then over here. So I'm going to pay attention to that one more than anything. And dip it in this blue. And it is like right over here somewhere. I think everything else is okay, maybe. Right there. I'm going to juice those up a little too much. Okay. I'll do the rest. Okay, there's the last one. I am pressing down here a little too hard, as you can see that. Looks different than the others. Okay, purple. That's a very juicy ink pad. And the purple one was on the other sheet. This one will come in and fill all the little gaps that we have left. Actually, that amount of sprinkles looks really good. But again, I'm looking at it. There's one sticking straight up, and then the other ones that are kind of down this way. Okay, and where do we have that one? It's right in between the two teals, which were the two yellows, but I didn't do yellow. Okay, so let's do this, inking it up, and this goes right in between those guys. We went in between these two. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm not really going to pay attention to the rest. I'm just going for it like that. I'll be back. Okay, that's it, guys, right there. All right, I'm going to go clean everything off, but there we are, tons of sprinkles. I just washed my hands, so hopefully none of that gets all over everything, but we do need to cut out the little red pieces that are, it's this piece here. We need 2 of them, okay? So I'm gonna run it through. The paper I'm using does have a white core, but you know, the paper's white anyway, so I'm just gonna run it through this. Okay, and these guys should be stuck down. I put this over here. It was freezing this morning, guys. Like literally I felt like I was freezing. I'm sure for people who live where it's actually cold, they're gonna say, that's not freezing. It was like in the 60s, but right now it's almost 80 degrees, or probably already is, and I'm boiling because I'm wearing a sweater. I need to take this off. Okay. This little guy, again, you can put the glue on the back of, oh, I should pay attention. It should be on this side, right? Yeah. Again, I didn't decorate this, but maybe I'll add a little brown golden color ink. I don't know. Anyway, you can put the glue on here. You don't have to do what I did because sometimes I'm a little silly. And then there's like a little notch there. Okay, so you just want to avoid putting it that far down. Ooh, I'm getting hot. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I have like a brown color I can use. This is light brown. Okay, this is just a light brown. And I'm just going to color in here. And again, it didn't say, I don't think, to glue these guys together. But if you're only going to see this little bit of an amount, I'd rather just do this than cut all those other pieces. It's, you know, do whatever you like, of course. And if it's not meant to be glued in, I'm going to glue mine in. So that way no one will ever know. Or I guess you could just take this and color the whole thing. That also works, right? All the way down. We'll see what this looks like in a moment. And maybe it's a bad idea, but either way, there I go. Okay, so that was step 6, right? Just getting everything on there. And then 7, of course, is to get everything scored. I used some really thick paper, guys, so I'm going to take a moment to really get those scored on those score lines. Maybe even use this guy. Make sure everything's good. Okay, and then this guy. Maybe I should have scored the other pieces first. That's all it says there for some reason. That's interesting. Because these also need to be scored. Right? Oh yeah, duh. That's what that red line is. Oh my goodness. You know, it's funny. I used to say duh every once in a while. Like, my kids have never said that. Like, they wouldn't talk to me and say duh. Because, no, they just wouldn't. But, that's interesting. I'm a child of the 80s. I think we said duh all the time. Okay, let's put this over here and here. What do you guys consider a child of the 80s? I was born in 78, so like I remember the 80s, but you know, obviously when I was like 4, 5, 6, and then on, and then obviously the 90s were my heyday. So I don't know. But let me get this over here. And then people try to throw me off the Gen X. They're like, you're not Gen X. Because I'm on that cusp. I'm right in between Gen X and I guess millennial, which is very funny to me. But I remember all the Gen X references, so I don't know. Okay, let's put that here. And here. And it's basically the same thing we just did with the other piece, right? I'm just trying to straighten that out a little bit. Have those two guys. Hopefully, I wash my hands really well, so that's stained. Hopefully it doesn't reconstitute. Ooh, I will say, you know, I like to score things when they're still flat. Like, honestly, this stuff, I kind of would probably prefer to do that now. So, sorry, I'm going to back up a second. Maybe you don't want to get this completely put together quite yet. Just give it a little training. These little arched areas, they're going to need to go in, okay? And maybe it is easier to do it when it's up like this, because it's kind of giving it a little bit of that dimension already. But I think, again, like I said, for me, I like to score things. Yeah, it might be better to do it afterward, like after you've already formed your, because right now that it's flat, it feels weird. It's not wanting to curve the same way. So okay, did it halfway one way, halfway the other way, right? So you can make your determination. Like here, it is a little bit harder, so maybe it is better. And then this guy, I'm trying to see when this gets bent into shape. It doesn't say to ever crease this area, which is interesting. You know, where it comes in. So I'm gonna do a little bit. Well, it doesn't say to do that, but I am gonna give it a little bit of what it might need. Okay. So again, I'm just going to glue these tabs and I'll come back to you guys when I'm at the very last one. Okay, here we go. And there goes. See, there was something in there clogging this up too. Now we're getting it. I knew something was up because it was very difficult to use. And that's not typical of that. Okay, so bring that in, bring this in, and bring this in. Right? So I'm going to hold on to this one till it kind of sets up a little bit. And I'm definitely not going to crunch this in until this is set up because I don't want it to pop. I've had times where, because it's a wet glue and it holds fast, but it also needs to dry, because what happens is it's really holding on to that top layer of your paper, and I've had things where I go to use it and it pops and then it's all moist and wet and it does not want to close back up again. You can't, if you add more glue, it's just too, like, it's a mess. So I'd rather just be patient and give it some time before we do that. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. It just happens and it's all wet underneath and you're like, ah, because if you just add more glue, it's like, nope, doesn't want to take it, you know? All right, so we've gone ahead to basically step 9 and 10 is to bring in the 4 circles with the slit towards the center. Okay, that's just to score it. So, I mean, I can do that right now. You're gonna score these guys. It does say to push these in though. So anyway, these are going to come in. These guys are going to come in, then back. There's like 2 little score line, like that little score line right there, right? But again, I'm going to give it a moment. Actually, let's see. I just won't mess with this one quite yet. But you do want these guys to come in. Again, I can do it now that we have it here. Try to squeeze that. Let it follow its curved line. That's so cool. Okay. I keep seeing this, it reminds me of a bishop from like chess. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with that one quite yet. That's the one I just glued. So I'm gonna go in here and just train it to want to come in. Okay. Give me a minute. Well, let's see. Maybe it's okay. Ooh, okay. All right. There's not too much tension there. So now it says to bring these guys, we already did this other one. Fold 2 cherry parts in at bottom score line and back at the top score line. What? It's so high up here. They just have it drawn kind of funny. So basically it's saying to go in here and then up here. There's no score line. Yeah, sorry. So in here and up here. I was just trying to see where the actual score line is. I couldn't see it too well on this one, but I can see it really well here. So in here and up here. The picture just makes it look very small. So I was like, what am I looking at right now? And then again, create the valley folds, right? You're pushing those in, which I already did. And then we're going to place treats, of course, inside of there. Bring this closer. Once it gets trained, I'm sure it'll be fine. But for right now, this is not super easy. I guess I'll bring these 2 together and then I'll bring like this in. There we go. Making sure everything's pushed in. Let's say this one. Does it matter? Place treats, gather top together, and slide cherry circles into slits, closing top. Okay. I didn't know if if it should be like this side, then the other side. There's a lot of tension here, guys. Let me put this out. I don't want to end up tearing anything till it's ready. Okay, there we go. So get these out of your way. Bring some of these guys in. If you're just going to do them all at, that first one's obviously a little trickier. And then now I can push these guys in and it's already set up. So all I have to do is kind of, let's pop that out. Let's just get this in place. Very good. There we go. Oh my gosh. Cute. Definitely a little bit of a learning curve. I can push that in. I'm pushing it with my thumb to kind of give it some ease. Oh my goodness. That is worth it. I'm sorry. Like that's worth it. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay. Base is just under, it's 2 3/8. Oh, I gotta go. And then just over 2.5 in the other direction. Let me pause that. Hey guys, I mean, that was perfect timing because I wanted to get this video out today. So I don't mind editing while the kids are here, but just obviously recording, and then I just don't ask them like, go over there and you just kind of be quiet, I just don't feel like that's kosher. Okay, place cupcake top into cupcake bottom and tie an embellishment tag on to the cherry. I'm not going to do that, guys, because I think that's the easiest part, right? You're going to stamp whatever you want and then go ahead and put this on your little tag. Maybe I'll do it with music over. How about that? Since it doesn't really take a lot of explanation. It comes out. So if you want it to be a little more playful, have a little more interaction, that'd be cute, right? You have your little cupcake. And then, maybe you have a couple of different things, or maybe you have something, I don't know, right? So maybe you do want to cover this. But for me, I do not mind at all putting that down and then gluing the base in. I'm gonna do it. This is very cute. Okay, so let's get this guy glued down to the bottom. Because I'm telling you, you're seeing the smallest amount. I'm not gonna glue the sides, but just the very base. Right? And now it's one piece. Super cute. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. And I mean, did I give you a number for the height? I guess, like I said, it doesn't really matter too much because if you ordered it, you already have it. But 2.5 inches tall. Right? There you go. Very cute. Super happy to have that set. And again, you can make cards with this too. It doesn't have to just be this, guys. And maybe if you would like, let me know. I do that a lot. I'll ask you guys, I'll say, if you guys want to see more, let me know. And then one person will say they want to see it. So then to me, I'll, you know, I don't know if it's worth the time to take for that curiosity, right? So I need a lot of you guys to tell me. Please let me know. And then we'll take the time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll have images coming up. Again, links as appropriate. It'll probably be for the very first. Actually, it can't even be for the first iteration because that means you have to buy the marquee, and they don't have it anymore. So that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I switched out into a tank top because it is blazing hot right now, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.